We have just heard in the first reading one of those magnificent passages of the Apostle who tries to sum up the love of Christ and is beaten in the act. Years ago, we had 8 days of retreat at La Trappe under the very competent guidance of a Jesuit who was the world expert on the Song of Songs. At the end of it, we actually even had a Christian actress who memorized the whole thing and acted it for us after a commentary of every verse of it from the retreat giver. But his last retreat comment was this. He just read what we've just read to let us understand that all human love is pale before the love of Christ. And that is what we are called to in the monastic life and in family life. If it's not happening, make a good examination of conscience, because our Christian life is not an expression of Christ, is upside down. And we are in the position of this gospel. He who exalts himself, we're in the way of the work of grace. I want to look into this gospel a little bit because it matters in our time. Right now, even in church circles, there are many who are exalting themselves. Firstly, in parish life, there are many who like to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, even in the house of God. But also, wider afield, there are many loud, raucous voices. It's not the language of the Spirit of our God. Now, before this synod happens, be aware of the way that the Holy Spirit genuinely acts. He is a spirit of peace. People who have an agenda are not driven by that spirit. Remember, my friends, where we are coming from. We are coming from 2 millennia. And not only 2 millennia of Christian history, but millennia also of pre-Christian Jewish history. And there's an education there also. Remember how in the Pentateuch, that same unchanging spirit, bit by gracious bit, educated the people of God to what? The sacred, the other, the Holy of Holies, the thrice unutterable Holy God. And we think we've just grown up and got it right. Well, I've got news for you, my friends, we haven't. Listen to this, in case we forget how deep our roots are. We are the church of the martyrs and the fathers. And day after day, we have these feasts going before us. Just this week, we had yet 2 more, Cyprian and Cornelius. Now, this bit here I want to quote to you because it's just one bit which is the tip of the iceberg. Notice the detail. When the executioner arrived, Cyprian, his bishop in Carthage, where they speak Latin, told his followers to give him 25 gold pieces. That's Christian forgiveness, to the executioner now. His brethren spread before him linen cloths and towels. Not one drop of this martyr's blood was to be lost. Relics already there. The blessed Cyprian blindfolded his eyes with his own hands. Notice the words, the presbyter, Latin, based on the Greek, which means the elder, and it's the same word as priest. Presbyter gives us priest. It's got shortened. His name is Julian. And notice this, the subdeacon, he's also called Julian, tied the ends of the handkerchief since he was unable to do so himself. And he goes on to death. Now, while I mention this, you may get some people who think they have learnt a lot in their studies. Well, I would invite them to look back to this kind of testimony. Already, in the Apostolic Fathers, the notion of one order in 3 tiers is there. The fullness in the word overseer, episkopos, bishop, the priest who acts on his behalf and has to mention his name each time, and the deacon. And we have already in the early church these other categories coming in. The subdeacon is there, and we have the other categories very early on as well. The acolyte follows the bishop, the celebrant with candles. Akoluthane means to follow. The lector is instituted to read and read well. There are also cantors. I make a jump. Go to Rome. Go to these old churches which go back to the first period. What will you find? Architecture unchanged, including, notice, quite often, one interesting bit, the part where only those who were part of the official clergy were. It's a physical box in some churches, like St. Sabina and St. Maria in Cosmedin, which goes back to the early church, indicating that there, these categories were there, and only those. Therefore, by extension, no women were there. Just to be aware of how old our roots are and where the balance lies, coming from the Old Testament, which was also absorbed mentally. We have in St. Paul the word diakonos coming in, and we have also coming in the expression diakonissa. Now, diakonissa means handmaiden. It's somebody who helped. Now, these people were needed, for instance, when it came to baptisms, when actually they had to have the whole body in contact with the water, plunged in, and that meant nakedness. So women were there helping with this. In case somebody puts the wool over your eyes and tries to impress you with erudition. If the apostle wanted to use the word deaconess as the feminine of deacon, he would have used the Greek diakone, which would be the feminine of diakonos. But the word diakonissa is used, indicating another role. Just to be aware where we're coming from. And that certain things are older than this last generation, who seems to have learned an awful lot in a short time. I go on. If you want to see the power of tradition, you go to the East, where you see time standing still. In the West, bit by bit, partly through the influence of great orders like the Cluniacs, the multiplication of ordinations and celebrations came in, with many celebrations happening in the same abbey church in a day, on different altars, and even eventually at the same time. This never happened in the East, and they only ever had the solemn. They never had the shortcut. And that meant something linking it to the pre-Christian, where they didn't have the quickie either. God was beyond time. Now also, as it happens, you'll find there other things which have never been questioned. They never receive not fasting from midnight. They never actually receive not having gone to confession. They always have an awareness of what it means to be in a state of separation, and they do not bring in the profane. We have lowered the level of our God and brought in the worst of man to our worship. Why? To favour the youth. My friends, if we only have more of the same thing to offer, we must expect the consequences. Specifically, with regard to this element of holiness in humility, it concerns each one here, from the greatest to the least. Our Lady appeared to a mystic soul some years ago and indicated in the context of her sorrows how much she'd suffered, and wanted us to understand one secret. When the world jabs us, don't react, because there is one who will do it for us. If we are jabbed and react immediately, wanting immediate justice, satisfaction and glory, it shows who we are working for. It shows who matters for us. Man means more to us than God. After a reaction, it would be well to ask yourself, did I lose merit there or gain it? There is more. If our motives are impure, we will see those reactions coming out, e.g. in church. People who like to excel and be noticed are like that monk in the desert who had a beautiful voice, was one of the cantors, and knew how competent he was. But one of the monks noticed a demon at the back of the church, and the demon was smiling. He was actually even beating the time. You know why, don't you? Vain glory, working for the wrong side. There is more peace, my friends, in abdicating over glory in this world and insisting on our place. Let us conclude. How much energy in life goes into looking for the first place? Professionally, academically, in the sports field, now in the cybersphere. I am! As Thomas More put it, it's the man who thinks the whole universe has nothing better to do than to sing continually the sanctus around his head. To be better, to be satisfied with hiddenness, the company of the angels, who are not even looking at the glory of man, but just singing without end.